when I come back, we're going swimming. So, tell everybody thank you for them. Скажи, дякую.
Дякую.
Не, английский.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, что? Very much. Еще раз.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Future president of Ukraine right here. All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It is 4:16 Eastern in the afternoon here in the United States. I'm on the East Coast in Pennsylvania, and that would put it 11:17 inside Ukraine, and wherever you are at in this world, it's either morning, afternoon, evening, or overnight. But thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you do. It's tough on the time zones because I know we have people that are Kiwis in New Zealand, Australia, throughout Asia, Europe, and you come to Western Europe, Western US, it's tough. We do the best we can. Maybe I need to stream twice a day. I don't know, because I don't want to miss anybody, especially our guys over there in the far reaches of Australia and New Zealand. But thank you all for being here. Tonight is going to be a lot of information, like crazy amount of information. I also have some video I'm going to share from Rick. That's definitely worth sharing. Rick, the Ukrainian, one of our partners. And I just want to say thank you to him personally. I want to thank you for being here. Guys, we couldn't do it without you. And thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, turning that notification bell on, because the reality is we can come on at any time, and sharing it with others. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, make sure you do that as well. It's growing. In fact, we were working on that just minutes before going on the stream. And I'm trying to make it better all the time. Yana and Blonde Bombsheller, we're working like crazy. So thank you very much, guys. We appreciate all that you do. Let's jump in and get started. We're going straight away because there's so much news and so much information to share. Got some good news, got some interesting news, got some not so good news. Put it all together, and it's the world in which we live right now. But let's start with Patch Cam. All right, guys, coming at you tonight. You can see the patch cam there. You may say, hold on now, that's not some unit. Oh, let me tell you something right now. This right here is a unit. This is Rick, the Ukrainian, and his community of rollers, of which many of us are a part of. And tonight, I want to give a shout out from Rick because I'm actually going to be sharing a video of his right now as we get started. This is good news, and this is very interesting to see. But there's Rick right there on that corner. You can see the chat rolling by. That's how I do stuff like hit a button here. It's Robert Lockhart, and I push it and it goes right to the chat like that. So high-tech redneck. But we're so appreciative of Rick and the partnership and the friendship that we have together. I want to let me do this. Let's do this right here. And let me go to Rick's channel. Let me come back to the main cam so you're not looking at his patch the whole time. But I want to do this. Here's Rick's channel right there. Make sure if you haven't subscribed to Rick, he is getting shadow banned like crazy right now, and it's ridiculous. The amount of work and the amount of money he raises to support Ukraine. And remember, Rick is so transparent. He's so transparent in his work in support of Ukraine. The dude is absolutely invisible. And yes, Rick and I've spent a lot of time together. He does weigh in at a heavy 55 kilograms, and but he's a giant of a man. So between his weight and my height, we are Goliaths walking around Ukraine. But this is Rick, and he actually just put a video up that I want to draw your attention to. And I want to ask you right now to go, not now, but after the stream, click on this video right here. It's a message from the soldiers of the 141. This is where we were dropping one of the armed vehicles. Rick does a little video here with those guys. Let's go and leave the soldiers a comment, wishing them well, telling them we love them, we stand with them or whatever. But this is actually the video. Really cool. We're going to start with this tonight. We're not going to start with that. We're going to start with that.
Hi rollers. In this short video from the trip to the east with Greg and Jania last month, I just want to show you a piece of everyday's life of soldier. Not like the whole day, but just an atmosphere of an evening, very close to the front line, not on the zero line, but right behind it, where soldiers live. And one of them has a message for you, so please enjoy. Hi guys, I wanted to show you the heroes that are defending us, that are saving lives. They are medics. They are saving lives of our soldiers, and I just wanted to thank them for their service from you. Кажу, що хотів подякувати від своєї спільноти вас за службу, побажати вам здоров'я, to wish them health. And if they want, they maybe share a bit of their stories. Кажу, якщо хочете, може поділитись коротенько своїми історіями. Так, ім'я, звідки ви і... Ні? Окей, без проблем. Yeah, they don't want to do it. У мене така історія аматорська, знаєте, я просто там... Ні, не буду мучити. Just, guys, you know, just I want you to feel the atmosphere. There are really awesome flags there. Like, let me show them closer. This one, yeah, the guys told me they are creating the atmosphere. And this is the flag of the brigade. This brigade is from Lviv Oblast. It's 141. And I got lucky to get the patch today of this brigade. Thank you so much for the patch. And what else?
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Thank you for supporting. Soldiers are telling me that they are really enjoying the visits, and it helps them to keep the morale up. So, you know, I am honored to be here to support them at least a bit. And I don't know, I just want to wish you luck, guys. Хочу побажати удачі вам. Хай щастить.
There you have it, guys. They didn't say Slava Ukraini, Geroim Slava. It is just awesome, the work that Rick does. He was there with us, dropping the armored vehicle to the 141. And I know that most of you, if not all of you, watched that live stream when we had all of us guys together talking about that, showing that video. I was actually in a different area there on their little home area there, filming the video with Vitaly. And while that was going on, Rick was out hanging with the other guys. So we were just sharing the love and spreading the love. And as Haji says there, that's exactly right. Sharing the love. And all of you do that. Believe me, trust me 100% when I tell you this. When you go on and leave a comment, when you share, when you do anything, these guys are watching, because they spend lonely nights in those homes, in those frontline positions, when they're staying in the zero line for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days at a time using a Starlink. They're watching these YouTube videos. I promise you 100%, they're watching these YouTube videos. They're reading the comments. They're seeing the hearts. They're seeing the smiles. They're seeing our, family here of pro-Ukrainian YouTubers. And, I'm not going to start listing them. I'll miss somebody, but all of us working together to not only inform you, to share with the world what is really going on, to translate, update the news, all of the things that we do, bring the social stories, bring motivation, whatever we can do to help. But you guys are integral in that, not only with your donations and your giving through all of these platforms, and you're so faithful. I'm telling you, what goes around comes around. So what goes around from Vladimir Putin will come around to Vladimir Putin. But on the opposite end of that, whatever goes around from you will return to you. And so very, very big thank you for that. So guys, let's jump right in. We're going to start here with some good news. And that is this: Romanian Patriot confirmed in Ukraine, confirmed today. This is good news. This is another. I know that we need many, many, many more, but guys, it's better news that one is coming versus one is leaving. And there have been times in this war where a battery or a system gets damaged and has to be removed from Ukraine to Europe for repair. So this is good news. We're not -1, we're not 0, we're +1. Now, on the big picture here, it's now our responsibility as the West, led by the United States and Europe, to supply those Patriot systems. It's one thing to have a Patriot system in the country, it's another thing to have supply for that Patriot system. So let's make sure that we stay the course and keep the pressure on. But confirmed another Patriot system inside Ukraine today from Romania, and that is fantastic news. Additionally, some more good news. Don't you like it when we start with the good news? Oh, here's some good news. My wife is in the chat. Yes, Ukraine with a heart. Holly Terry. Oh, now she's going to get all the love back. So thank you for that. So she's in the chat. But ATACMS destroy a Russian Nebo M radar system. Guys, there were 11 of these, and now there are only 10 left. 10 Nebo M radar systems. And I will tell you this, the Nebo systems are good. The Nebo systems, I'm just telling you, they're really good. Do not fall for the propaganda out there that everything Russia has is trash, because it's not. And these Nebo systems are good radar systems, but there were 11 and now there are only 10. So that it's like an 8.5 or 9% deduction in the supply of the radar, the Nebo M systems. And those actually are, uh, their concentration is anti-aircraft, and having one of these out of commission and destroyed is extremely good. So we're thankful for that. Once again, telling you what capabilities Ukraine and the soldiers and their technology have when they are supplied. That is an attack them at work there. So thankful for that. Now, I'm going to take this story and it's actually going to lead somewhere. Niebo, bonkers, thank you for that. 78 out of 105 Shaheeds were eliminated overnight. I know that some flew off course, some flew out, and they do not have the result of them. But I will tell you that 78 out of 105 were eliminated. And to be honest, guys, this is about the percentage right now. Um, some days it's 60 to 65 to 70% eliminated. Some days it's this number 74, 75, 80, 85, 90. But in reality, Ukraine eliminates each night. And notice I'm saying each night because every night there are Shaheeds flying. Every night. And right now we're seeing an increase of them on average, between 30 and 40 per night. So take that out and extrapolate it. That's what's flying through the air, and they literally putter around. I shared with you guys the story. Rick was in the truck with us, as well as Roman, Jane, and myself on the way back, and we're driving on terrible roads. And we're coming back in our Navarro after dropping some of the armored vehicles, and Shahed was right over our head. And believe me, you know when a Shahed is over your head, it's got that moped little sound. That's exactly what it sounds like. And I mean, it was right there. So they just fly around. They just fly around. And it's about 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, we saw over to our right an explosion on the horizon. Whether it was that Shahed or not, I do not know, but that's what they do. I will tell you that October the 7th is Vladimir Putin's birthday. Not that we need to wish him birthday. Maybe on his birthday will be his funeral. How about a news initiative for October the 7th being the funeral of Vladimir Putin? That would be really good, but it is his birthday. And the talk inside Ukraine right now is there potentially could be a larger missile strike. And that's why we're seeing all of these drones flying around, because not all the drones are loaded with ammunition or with warheads or munitions, maybe a better way to say munitions. Many of them are flying around munitionless, but full of cameras. And they will fly for a few weeks, routing out particular airstrikes. And we're not spreading fear here. I'm just sharing with you what they're talking about inside Ukraine. They are watching and looking towards October 7th, because you guys know as well as I know, if you study history, you study World War II, you study Adolf Hitler, now you can study Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. They love dates. That's just the way it is. They love dates. And of course, October 7th. So Ukraine is not in fear about it, but they are going into it with eyes wide open. So we keep our eyes. We've got 4 days until then. But listen, it's very difficult every day, and 105 Shaheeds flying around last night, 78 destroyed. Let's go here now. Not that one. Let's go here now. There is now power grid instability in 3 regions. Overall, Ukraine has been doing very good because you keep hearing it, and it is the truth. Coming this winter, it's going to be very difficult in Ukraine. I shared that about 3 weeks ago. It came from Ukrenergo and other government officials that even if there was not an additional strike between now and winter on any piece of electrical infrastructure, substations, plants, power lines, that the winter would still be very difficult, with most regions having to experience between 4 and 12 hours of darkness per day in the winter. Of course, there are strikes on infrastructure and electrical systems and power generation systems regularly. But right now, in general, Ukraine is doing a good job keeping the lights on. When I was just there, it was brutal, especially in my region, Khmelnytsky. It was very, very bad, very unstable. Even when they would give the graphic meaning the schedule of when the power would be on or be off, it would still rarely be accurate. It was no way to manage a power system. And when winter comes, it will be much more difficult. But I can tell you right now that Sumy, Kharkiv, and Poltava are very unstable in their power systems. Part of that is not only because of glide bombs attacking, of course, civilian homes, but also infrastructure. But additionally, there has been a massive amount of wildfires out there in that region right there, Sumy, Poltava, Kharkiv, and pushing down even to the right of the red. I've got colored in for you there. And it is affecting infrastructure as well. In fact, in the Kharkiv region today, an entire little town, population 1,000 pre-war. This is not a little village, a little family village with 7 families in it, a town, 1,000 population is gone. And it's not gone from a strike from a glide bomb, artillery. It's gone because it burned to the ground due to the forest fires. And I mean, gone. So that also affects the instability with power systems. So right now, Ukraine is doing the best they can to get as much repair done, as much security done, but we are entering into the winter season, although Ukraine right now is experiencing some Indian summer. I think that's the slang we use here in the United States for warm, early fall season, but we'll keep our eyes on it. Now, let me make sure. I know we have some Norwegians in here. So, no, not Norwegians. Some Dutch. Sorry, Netherlands. And let me get this while we're getting that. If anybody in here from the Netherlands, just say hello, please, or because I'm going to mess this name up most likely. Matt Leach Music, I want to say welcome and thank you to becoming a crew member. Right over here to my left in my studio, I have my piano now set up, and I don't know, maybe we'll start adding some music into this stream, and there's some nice Ukrainian music I can play, but I've got that set over here. So music's dear to my heart as well, Matt. Dunk on You 23, one of our great moderators, and I consider him a friend. Slava Ukraina, the $20 super chat. Dunk on You 23, also gifting 10 memberships tonight. Thank you for that, my friend. Petra Olsen with the Swedish non-smoking initiative. Thank you for that donation. Swedish Crones 129. Linda S. Australia gifting 20 memberships tonight. Thank you, Linda. Thank you very, very much.
Slava Ukraini!
Johnny in the house, Norwegian 22 to good news. Yes, to good news, and people are giving thumbs up to that. We do as well. 3 quid from the Weasel. Don't you just love the name The Weasel? And Niels Item gifting 10 memberships. Niels, thank you for gifting those 10 memberships. Appreciate it much. Now, here we go with the Dutch. I'm going to do my very best. Mark Rutte. Mark Rutte. Mark Rutte. I think that's how they pronounce it. Mark Rutte. He is the new NATO Secretary General, and he made his first trip to Kyiv. I've got a little video of President Zelensky talking about that and after their meeting. But what I want you to understand here, I'm going to introduce this guy to you because we're always talking about the NATO Secretary General. Think about over the last almost 3 years how much we have talked about Jens Stoltenberg. Jens Stoltenberg, household name now. Everybody knows or knew Jens Stoltenberg. Now, the guy is Mark Rutte. Rutte. I think I'm doing it right. His first international trip as the NATO Secretary General was to Kyiv. That's a great statement. And for that, we say thank you to Mark. Mark is from the Netherlands. Who is Mark? Cheryl, pretty good R rolling on there, Greg. Well, thank you for that. I can roll that R pretty good. Mark Rutte is a Dutch politician who has served as Secretary General of NATO since October 2024, just starting now. He previously served as the Prime Minister of the Netherlands from 2010 to 2024, 14 years, and is the leader of the People's Party for Freedom and Democracy, VVD, from 2006 to 2023. Rutte was the longest serving prime minister in Dutch history. I'm close. Rutte succeeded Jens Stoltenberg as Secretary General of NATO on the 1st of October 2024. His bid to become Secretary General received public support from the governments of the US, United Kingdom, Germany, and France. You see something similar there? US, UK, Germany, France. Rutte managed to overcome opposition from the last holdouts, Turkey, Hungary, Slovakia, and Romania, although I will not put Romania in the same category as Slovakia, Hungary, and Turkey. And yes, I know Slovakia supports Ukraine, but there's news coming out within the last hour that shows how weak the leadership of Slovakia is. Robert Fico, Fiso. I don't want to mispronounce his name wrong, but pathetic. They tried to block it. They were the last ones. They did not succeed. So this is the new Secretary General of NATO. Zelensky and Mark met today. Details from the meeting. This was from Zelensky after the meeting. NATO can shoot down Iranian UAVs and Russian missiles in Ukraine, but there is no agreement yet. So let me make sure you understand this. Yes, Zelensky said NATO can shoot them down, but what he means by that is NATO has the capabilities to shoot them down, but NATO is not shooting them down, although they can. He's expressing it the right way. NATO can do it, but we do not have an agreement on that yet. Zelensky also talked about in that same meeting, it is right that our people, meaning our soldiers, left Ugledar in order to save themselves for the sake of the state. President Zelensky, and we talked about this for the last couple of days. We confirmed it. It has been confirmed. And it is a known fact now that Ugledar has fallen. Russia controls it. But Zelensky now coming out saying it was the right decision. In fact, he made the statement that our people are more important than our buildings. And I appreciate that. In fact, I'm going to show you that in just a moment. And then coming up on October the 12th, Ramstein will discuss the everything flat. This is ridiculous. Let me know if I come back. I'm going to change something. I'll let you look at that. Am I back? Good. All right, I'm back, right? I'm gonna make it through this somehow, but I'm back, right? All good, boss. All right, hold on. Now you having okay, so how do you know this is live? Watch this. And voila. Okay. What is going on in my house? All right, we're good. You look yellow, but it's okay. Yeah, everything changed. You guys just hang on because I can't stand it to not be right. So we're back. Everything is good. There was a power flash here for unknown reasons in Western Pennsylvania. So everything's good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go back to where we were, and that's right here. NATO can shoot down missiles, but they're not doing it. There's no agreement. That's what we talked about. And then it's very right that our people left Ugledar. That's what Zelensky's talking about. And then on October 12th, Ramstein will meet. Now, let's do this. And I want to show you Zelensky talking today about that after his meeting with Mark.
They're persistent in using long-range weapons. Without proper arms, we can't stop Russia, which uses such weapons against us, destroying everything. When they wreck our soldiers' positions, they must save their lives. They're far more valuable than any buildings. So, because these are our people, Ukrainian citizens, it's absolutely right that they retreat and save themselves for the country and their heroic service. It's completely justified. That's why we're asking for the means to stop Russia with this or that weapon. We need permission to acquire the appropriate systems. Can we stop Russia without them? Today, well, this is one of the real means to strengthen Ukraine.
So there you have it, guys. I wish y'all could see what I'm having to deal with to make this happen. Let me see the question here. Greg, did a unit have to sacrifice in order to allow others to leave Ugledar? No, there was not a unit that specifically had to sacrifice. To be quite honest, I will tell you the exact truth here. It was next to impossible for them to leave, but they did a heroic escape for the most part. And the sacrifice was everybody sacrificing to get everybody out as quickly as possible and not lose more than was needed. And Ukraine did their escape under the cover of darkness. And that was the only way. It was the 72nd, but there was not like a specific unit that, that laid their life down and said, okay, we'll be the bait. You guys get out. They all worked together valiantly to get out. So that's the real story there. Now let's go to the next one here in regard to Ugledar. I want to talk about Ugledar. Zelensky himself talking about Ugledar. Zelensky talking about the need for long range weapons. Zelensky talking about the need to strike. And if Ukraine had those permissions, had those supplies, and of course, they have some supplies, as don't just put in the chat here. Ukraine successfully testing a missile capable of flying 700 kilometers accurately. Correct. They also have ATACMS. They have some things that can reach out some distance. They need more. Okay, that's a fact. But the reality is they are forbidden to hit certain targets. And because of that, they're struggling to maintain certain places like Ugledar. I want to talk to you just for a moment, though, about Ugledar. Just comments here. The fall of Ugledar reflects the difficult situation of Ukraine due to the refusal of the United States to grant permission for long-range strikes deep into the Russian Federation. That's a fact. Number two, the fall of Ugledar will not change the overall course of this war. Is it good that Ugledar fell? No, it's not. It is a strategic place, but it's not war changing on the big scope of things. But the loss does illustrate a general deterioration of the situation for Ukraine. And this is what's I'm going to use here, um, in particular because of the solid red lines of the West. How many times have you heard Vladimir Putin, Sergei Lavrov, and others, Dmitry Peskov, the propagandists that rage nightly, whether it's Solovyov or Margarita Semyon, or any of those other clowns, talk about the red lines, red lines, red lines, red lines. I'm not talking about those red lines. I'm coming from a viewpoint tonight that one of the red lines that exist is in the West. One of the red lines that exist is in the White House, the Pentagon, the state houses and parliaments throughout Europe, Germany, France. These are where some of the red lines are. And it's not the red lines that come out of the propaganda of Russia that state, if you do this, then we will do that. That's not an if then. The red line that we're struggling with right now is not so much the Russian red line, but the red line that we are struggling with is the Western red line. And that red line is you cannot strike deep into Russian sovereign territory. You cannot strike deep into the Russian Federation. That is where we're seeing red lines in place. And because of those red lines, places like Ugledar are falling because Ukraine cannot back up those airplanes that are launching those glide bombs many times more than the world ever knows, more than is ever reported. They are dropping them every day. You noticed in the graphic I shared with you at the beginning of the stream just a few minutes ago, talking about how many Shaheeds were flying, and Ukraine took out 74%. But I didn't even give you a graphic on the glide bombs. But they're dropping every day. So the red line of Russia, forget it. But the red line of the West, that is what needs to be changed so that we can get in. Yeah, Matt, that's a great comment, dude. The red lines of the West on making, make it a green line. Exactly. Make it an absolutely green line, and let's take the gloves off. And you would see a change. You would see a change. You know it. Ugledar analysis continued. Russia releases an average of 120 aerial bombs per day. Think about this, guys. 3,000 a month. I shared with you the graphic. I prepped you because I knew what was coming on the next slide. 74%, 105 Shaheeds flying around. We took out 74%. But every day, there's no graphics on it. Nobody really talking about how many fall every day. And dear friends, those glide bombs are much more destructive than a Shahed. As I shared with you, many of the Shaheeds flying around do not even have munitions on them. They're camera operators. They're GPS locators. They're testing electronic warfare systems. They're testing drones. They're not dropping munitions. They just fly around till they run out of gas and they fall out of the sky with cameras on them. It's being relayed back to Russia. But 120 aerial bombs per day on average, 3,000 a month. Ukraine sought U.S. permission to strike deep into Russia, but never received it, so Russian airfields and bomb depots remain safe. Delaying the granting of permission for long-range strikes leads not only to numerous victims among civilians, but also to the loss of settlements, towns, villages, and our soldiers who give their lives for every centimeter of land. That is what's going on. And that's my Ugledar analysis, just looking at it in general of what we're facing. And especially, let's stop talking about the red lines of Russia. Let's talk about the red lines of the West. That's what we need to be talking about, is the red lines of the West. Now, guys, I want to talk to you now about Vovchansk. Um, I want to bring some clarity on Vovchansk. And let me get the super chats here. I'm sorry, guys, my system went crazy, but we're okay. I'm limping through. Alistair Fitchy with 20 quid. I'll give you 50 quid if you do a recital from the late great Les Dawson. Alistair Fitchy, thank you for your generosity, but you don't have to give me 50 quid to do a recital from the great Les Dawson. I don't even know who that is, but I will look it up. Blonde Bombsheller gifting 5 memberships. Thank you for that. Matt Leach Music gifting 5 memberships. And Matt Leach Music, $20 donation for warm socks this winter for the soldiers of Ukraine. Matt, thank you for that so very much. Nick is here, In Time Independent News. Nick and I are going to be getting together. Great to be here. Glad finally to make contact with Greg. Great guy. Pastor, but nobody's perfect. That's correct. And you know what? With all generosity, Nick, just for you.
Слава Україні!
So there you go. Thank you so much, Nick. We appreciate you, buddy. And yes, we will be doing some partnerships. So you guys keep your eyes open for that. Thank you for the guys donating the memberships. And, I just read the chat and I wish I could show you. I can't, but I have different monitors I look at. I'll describe it to you. I have different monitors that I look at where I can see your comments. I can push your comments. I can see the news I'm talking about, the videos I'm running, and 2 of the 3 are gone. I'm going by complete memory here. Other than one little screen I've got, and I don't know. It's all good. It's all good because we are here, we're safe, and we're helping to share about Ukraine and support them. It's all good. So Vovchansk, I want to talk to you about Vovchansk. Why? Oh, well, that's crazy. You guys are seeing my full. Okay, I just checked YouTube over here to my right. You're seeing my back screen. Holy moly. All right, guys, stick with me. Stick with me, and we're going to make it. I promise you. Oh, my goodness. Vovchansk. Vovchansk, located up on the Russian border north of Kharkiv. And let's do this first. You're seeing my back stream. Well, I'm glad this is live and we can just hang out. That's ridiculous. So if I go audio only and I do this is what I want you to see. How about that? You should now be seeing Vovchansk. No, you're not. You're not. Why are you not seeing? This is where you talk in the chat and we all are thankful for what we have. I am befuddled. Well, it'll be what it'll. Oh. Okay, you've got full screen there. No, okay, you've got full screen there. Maybe we can go with that. Now you can see. I am so embarrassed because this is not what we did. There you go. Now you should be able to see Vovchansk. Okay, we'll do it this way and you can just listen. So, Vovchansk, this is the actual picture of Vovchansk. You can see the red occupied zone that Russia occupied. You can also see I drew on there the blue line for you guys that is representative of the river. Below the red and above the river, you see the gray zone. And this is what I want to bring clarity to you tonight. I know when we look at these maps, we just look at it and go, okay, well, everything's okay. Ukraine is holding the green. The gray is, contested. And the red is occupied by Russia. Okay, that's the meaning of it. But tonight, you need to see this, guys, and this is the reality. This is the absolute reality of Vovchansk. This is just some video of Vovchansk. And at those times, I'm not even speaking. I want you to see it here. And I'm going to prove to you this is Vovchansk. Right there. I want you to look at this image right here. And looking at this image right here, on the bottom left, you see a bridge and you see the river. You then see a long main thoroughfare going up into the center of Vovchansk. And you see scorched earth. This is reality. The river that you're looking at, just to the north of it, that would be what we consider to be. This is why I just want to encourage you to understand these things. That would be the gray zone there that you're looking at. I want to bring you over. Let me show you a couple more images here. This is Vovchansk. This is Vovchansk. This is Vovchansk. Jimmy Hagan, was that the place where the fuel bomb went off lately? That is where the 1,500 kilogram went off. Yes, it is. This is the exact place. This looks like Hiroshima or Nagasaki. And no, there was not a nuclear bomb or a tactical or even the mother of all non-nuclear. It was a 1,500. But this is just what's been happening every day. It's leveled. This is Vovchansk. And this is why I come back to, I got it fixed. This is why I come back to, when you look at this gray line here, when you look at the river, when you look at the gray zone, there is no gray zone. There's nothing there. So I'm going to show you now. If I go back to the video, which is here, and you see the bridge, I'll play it right there. That's what I want you to see. You see the bridge, you see the waterways, you see all of that. Let me go to here now, and this is Vovchansk. Got everything working again. This is the Russia-Ukraine border. This is basically the area that's red. That. And then they're considering this the gray zone. Okay. Um, I asked you guys just to pay attention to that bridge there, and I'll show you. This is the angle you were looking at. So you see this bridge here, and I know it looks like more trees and stuff here, but now they're all destroyed. You see this circular grove of trees here, and then we're looking this direction. That's where we're looking in towards Vovchansk. Now, I'm just going to zoom in just a little bit, so you can see the city of Vovchansk pre-war. Look, school number 2, brand new roof. I'm sure it had been repaired and upgraded, especially if they've put a new roof on it. I'm just going to come around a little bit just so you can see. You see this soccer field here? Let me go back to this. Maybe it was on the video. Let's go back to the video here. Here. Yeah, right there. In that quadrant up on the upper left, you can see that same soccer field. It was an AstroTurf soccer field. And you can see it here. And this is just what I want people to be aware of. Look at this town. It's gone. And sometimes I become very frustrated and emotionally connected because I just think of the hundreds of towns like this that I've ridden through with wonderful people, kind people, businesses, and schools. I can just take you with me right now emotionally down into this city. 5 o'clock in the evening when the workday would be over, families by the hundreds would be walking down the central street. There would be street vendors out selling ice cream in the summertime and selling hot dogs and selling shawarma, like a burrito, or Armenian uh, burrito with meat in it. There would be vendors out selling their wares. There would be little grannies and grandpas that have come in from the surrounding villages, and they're sitting there on little stools, and they'll have their fresh vegetables out, and people by the thousands would be walking. You would hear a musician standing over on a street corner playing music. You would hear the sound of children playing in the central square in the park there where their playground is located. You would have the smells of food and coffees. It would become closer towards the late evening and the street lights would begin to pop on. And when they pop on, people begin to meander off and head toward their homes silently, quietly, and peacefully. The lights flicker on in the 5 and 9 and 11 and 14 and 16-story apartment buildings that have now been leveled to the earth. You would see children at the last minute playing in the dark and mama leaning out from the 8th floor window screaming, "Oleg, come home. You have school tomorrow." Whatever has been most normal about your life, wherever you're at, whether you're in America, New Zealand, southern tip of France today, I'm sharing memories with you that somehow trigger something in your life. That is what Vovchansk was. And now Vovchansk is leveled to the absolute ground. Why did I choose today to share Vovchansk? Because A, the world needs to know, but B, today is the first day we were able to get that video and these photos out to share with the world and to tell the world this is the liberation of Putin. This is what happens when the world continues to sit on its hands. And if you for a moment think that there are not dead civilians under that rubble, I'm sorry, but you are sadly mistaken. Because there would have been many more than you realize people who thought that it would end. People who thought that I'll take my chances, a shell will never land on me. People who would have thought, I believe this is going to be over. I don't want to give up my home. Grannies and grandpas specifically who've been there for decades and decades, and it's all they know, and they have nowhere to go. They're still there. They're still there. So tonight we pay tribute and try to tell the truth. Last couple of things tonight, and I really want to say thank you guys for being with me tonight and helping me through my technical struggles. We made it. We made it. You know, if you watch Twitter, you can tell I'm not on Twitter very much. Watch Twitter, read Twitter, see Twitter, or YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Instagram, Doodlegram, Catgram, Mamagram, Papagram, whatever the gram is, and you see this clown, Alexei Erestovich, ignore him 100%. Ignore him 100%. This guy who was so famous up into 2023, he actually was a spokesman for the office of the president. He worked hand in hand with President Vladimir Zelensky and Yermak and Kuleba. Who else would it have been then? Zaluzhny. That entire team. He worked hand in hand with them. He now has lost his mind. He is a Russian bot. An absolute Russian bot. So please, do not listen to Alexei Erestovich. Because he will say things, and if you're not aware of this, and am I calling him out? 100%. 100%. Because he can say things sometimes, and listen, he has a huge following. He can say things sometimes that will tickle the ear to make a person who wouldn't know his background say, this guy has some good thoughts. And then the next moment, he's in la la land. Listen, guys, this guy, and I'm not throwing, I don't want to speak evil of anybody, but this guy right here, just don't listen to him. So if you're moving through your feeds or whatever, this is a warning. Do not listen to Alexei Erestovich. Trust me on that. And if you're here tonight and I see Heather in there, well, I've never heard of first I've heard of him. Just look him up. Massively important guy early in the war. And even now with his social media following, he is not a supporter of victory for Ukraine. That's a fact. So just watch it. That's a warning. Next, this one bugs me, guys, right here. And this was coming out just as, yes, you got it. Oh, there you go. Okay, I don't want to mess your name up. Hjalmar Brontings. Is that the guy that used to have discussions with the older guy in Twitch? That's exactly who this is. Hjalmar Brontings. Is this that guy that used to have discussions in Twitch? Yes, that is him. Every night he would give his update, listened to by millions. Don't listen. And of course, we're talking about this guy. Do not listen to this guy. Listen to our pro-Ukrainian team of great guys that support Ukraine altogether, including yourselves. And that's where you need to get your information from. Now, last couple of things. I have a problem with this big time. Big time. If the war ends, I'll restore relations with Russia. Slovakia's think it's pronounced FICO. I mean, I don't want to mess his name up, so I'm sorry, but it's they have funny pronunciations sometimes, like Mark Rutte. If war ends, I'll restore relations with Russia. Now, I want to actually do this and show you this because this is actually on Politico, but it's not only on Politico. If war ends, I'll restore relations with Russia. Slovakia's FISO said, FICO. But I want to go here. This is on the Kyiv Independent. Slovak PM wants to restore relations with Russia after war ends. It's not subscribing. It's not surprising. And Slovakia has helped Ukraine some. But I want to end this stream or get toward the conclusion of the stream where I began the stream. And that was talking about the red line of the West. One of the reasons that Ugledar fell and one of the reasons that Vovchansk is leveled to the ground is because of the red line of the West, not permitting Ukraine to strike deep into Russian territory to stop the capabilities of Russia having the planes, the supply, the glide bombs, the missiles, pushing them back. It's not permitted. It's a red line of the West. My friends, I would also tonight suggest that this is a red line. I am a firm believer in united we stand, divided we fall. Turkey supports Ukraine. Turkey is a member of NATO. Turkey is having one of the largest nuclear power plants in the world being built right now by Russian companies funding the Russian war machine. Erdogan does a really good job of sitting on the fence. Robert Fico, the president of Slovakia. You're either for the victory of Ukraine or you're not. Period. You're either with them 100% or you are against them. I am a firm believer in that. You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. We're losing territory right now, and we can win this war, and we will win this war. But what slows it down is the work of the West. A part of that tonight we've talked about is the supply of weapons, but another part of that is the spineless leaders of the West. Spineless. They're so afraid that if they support Ukraine and Russia wins, that they'll just be splattered. But then at the same time, they want to keep face with Europe, and they want to keep face with the European Union, and they want to keep face with the West, United States. Okay, we're supporting Ukraine, but at the same time, my nation is so dependent upon Russian oil and gas and Russian technology and Russia's supplies. And to be honest, I'm still a little afraid of the bear. I'm just translating, maybe putting a little butter on the bread for this. But this is the article. Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico says he plans to resume. Listen, he plans to resume economic and standard relations with Russia. This is just coming out last couple of hours, right before the stream went. With Russia after the end of Moscow's war against Ukraine, the RTVS broadcast reported on October 3rd, today. Much like his Hungarian counterpart Viktor Orban, Fico has consistently criticized Western military aid for Ukraine and sanctions against Russia. If the war ends during my term in office, I will do all I can to restore economic and standard relations with Russia, he told journalists, which ends in 2027. So either you're for them or you're not for them. That is where we're at. Ministry for the Recovery of Stolen Toilets, Russian technology. Yeah, it's like a paradox, isn't it? Like a paradox. But I will tell you this. Don't underestimate their technology, especially in this war right now. Their electronic warfare and their drones They're tough. They're tough, especially now dealing with a lot of fiber optics. The bottom line is, I conclude this stream where I started it. The red line we always scream about in the West as Russia dropping. And they change it, they move it. But I'm telling you also, Ukraine has been given a red line, and that red line needs to be lifted. That red line was placed there by the United States and nations of Europe, Germany. And it needs to be erased. If not, we will continue to see Ugledar, and we will continue to see Vovchansk. But if the red line is removed, Ukraine will begin to push back the onslaught of the Russian invader. They will be able to limit the daily attacks of Shaheds and really the glide bombs, which are devastating. And Ukraine can gain the upper hand and begin to take back their territory. Because for sure, one thing is, we will be here supporting them 1,000,000%. Finally, you guys know this guy? Let's see who is the first person. I feel like Mercado now. Now, give me a plus plus in the chat. Give me a plus plus. I watch that stuff from. There we go, Ronnie Franken. Ronnie Franken gets it. Zhenya. Zhenya was supposed to be on with me tonight because we, and I want to get very serious for a moment. Zhenya was supposed to be on with me tonight. We have great news. We have modifications that have been made on the remaining 2 Snatch armored vehicles that will be delivered here in short order. And you guys remember the fundraiser for WASP. Zhenya has received the supplies from Europe, and he will be delivering them to WASP. And WASP is a soldier on the front in the south somewhere. Very, very difficult areas. And he had an initiative. You guys know WASP. If you don't, hang around, subscribe, hit the like button. So you can find out. WASP, a great, great hero of Ukraine, trying to raise money for months and months to get some lifelike body parts to train not only medics, but soldiers how to treat wounds on the zero. And his fundraiser went nowhere. We went to him, and that night, you wonderful and beautiful people, we made that happen. We raised the money. We ordered the pieces out of Europe. They're purchased. They're delivered to Zhenya, and you guys will see them. And we wanted to show them to you on the stream because we always will validate the money that is raised, whether it's giving away sugar cubes, dropping armored vehicles, and now these, it's like lifelike body parts to teach you how to set broken bones and how to apply turning. It's incredible technology. But I need to tell you guys, remember Zhenya in your prayers. If you're not a prayer, remember him in your thoughts. He's the last 48 hours really struggling in his health. I won't go into details on that, and but really struggling in his health to the point where he's in the bed. And I'm not talking about the flu, guys. So right now, Zhenya's working with some doctors, and they're working on a few things in him. And of course, we will tell you, Zhenya will tell you himself and share with you. I won't do it, but I can tell you right now, he was unable to join me tonight. Please remember him in your prayers. And who knows, maybe it'll be tomorrow or Friday. I can get him on here to chat with you guys. But just remember him. That's where we'll leave that, because you talking about a stud. That man right there. If I'm going to war with somebody, I'm going with Zhenya. By the way, I do go to war, and I go with Zhenya. My buddy right there. And tonight we need to remember him. He's got some health issues he's facing, and just remember him in your thoughts and prayers. Much appreciated. And finally, thank you, everybody. And, I'm not dropping that on you to make you wonder, okay, and say, oh my gosh, what's going on, and make you be worried or anything. No, I'm just telling you because the dude's struggling with his health right now. And he's our partner. And I talked to him just before the stream. He says, man, I just can't. And been in the doctor's today. And I said, well, I'm going to share it. He said, no problem. And you will see him on here. But right now, just remember him in your prayers and thoughts. That's it. Not trying to tickle your emotions or do anything. I'm just trying to update you. Janya's a massive part of our team. And when one part of the team hurts, all the team hurts. And right now, the dude needs our thoughts and prayers. So thank you for that. Thank you for everybody. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thank you for new subscribers. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for supporting Ukraine. In fact, if you're wondering who Wasp is, he is the 8'3" guy standing to my right. Yeah, on the screen to your left, but to my right. Because I'm 6'4". Now with the hat, I'm about 6'7". Well, I guess Wasp, he's about 7'2", but 7'2". But that is Wasp, guys, and you will see that. So thank you for all your cares and your support. I did see you guys. I did see you talk, somebody chatting about Discord. Do I need to be on Discord? Of course. Get into the Discord. The link's in the description. Thank you for all the super chatters, all the gifted memberships. I hit all those. Matt Leitmuch, I got you at the end. Armored Rabia Master, funds for a tech guy, Swedish Grown 65. Thank you for that. Daryl Corson, thank you for being you. And thank you for that $20 super chat. And Daryl, I did see your suggestions there to check with some other guys. I will, but I know what my problem is tonight. My power went out for like a split second and it just rescreened everything, but we're good. But thank you for that. And thank you for your care. And Alistair Fitchy, 10 quid. Regarding Les Dawson, I'll make it 100 pounds. You will be pleasantly surprised. Okay, Alistair Fitchy. We're going to close with this, and everybody just, we're going to have a good evening, morning. Dimitri there in Romania. Welcome to you, brother. Giving a Patriot system today. Romania did. Thank you. This is what I'll say to Alistair Fitchy. Alistair, you're great help, especially in the armored vehicles, teaching us how to drive those big, heavy monsters. But you now have me intrigued on Les Dawson. And I was watching the chat and seeing you guys in there going, I'm not sure Greg knows who Les Dawson is. Les Dawson. I do not, but I will look it up. And Alistair Fitchy, you better be here and ready. It may not be the next live, but it'll be coming. I'm going to figure out Les Dawson and I'll bring it. I don't know what I'm bringing, but I'll bring it. You guys be blessed. Have a good evening. Thank you for your support of Ukraine. Thank you for all that you do. Wow. You guys are good. Be blessed. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Slava Ukraini!